Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview, Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur, Goodison Park. Friday night football, 2 weeks in a row. And this one, Baz, is definitely feels like the chance for Everton to put themselves back in the mix for the European places, because quite simply to me, if Everton don't win this game, then it is flip-flop time. Get the shorts on, and another disappointing end to a season.
You're not going to use the phrase must win. Every game
it is a
must win for
it?
weeks.
It is a must win.
I mean, it is.
It's the last must win.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, is after this week.
Say we win on Friday, don't we go to Arsenal? That's a must win, isn't it?
No, I know, but this is like the last one. If we don't
win it.
If we don't win this, nothing else matters.
No.
It's done, isn't it?
I mean, mathematically it wouldn't be, because Spurs would still only be a point ahead of us in the 7th position, so we'd be that in it. The problem is, you're then giving teams like Arsenal and Villa at the weekend, Leeds, to catch you right up by winning their games.
If Tottenham beat us, they got 5 points.
Oh no, Spurs win. Yeah, what I mean is, if Everton was to draw, you're also allowing the teams below. And that's Everton's issue as well. Not only are they now trying to cling on to everything above, they've allowed teams where they built up a big lead over, likes of Arsenal and Leeds, that they're within a win of us now.
Yeah.
So it is time to start winning some games of football. It'll be a very difficult game. You know, the Spurs are a good side. They're not playing great, but they've got Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And when you've got Harry Kane, you've got a chance of doing anything against anybody.
Yeah, but we've beat Spurs twice this season. People forget that. You know, we beat them first game of the season, and we beat them in the FA Cup in a you know, lively game of football. The odd goal in 9. So the players have got that to remind them that we can beat them. They're not. This is not like, you know, this is not something that can't be done. We've beat them twice this season, and we have to remember that as we go in. Yes, it'll be difficult because, number one, we're at home and we're absolutely garbage at home. But this just might be one of those games where it's like, you know, we've done well. I say we haven't done well as such, but against Man City and against, like, say, the likes of Man United, we held on for a while, and all right, they wore us down in both. And then the poorer sides have come to Goodison and nicked the games. And this might just be one of those where it's just in between, where it's just open enough, but also both will be quite defensive, that it might just allow us to, if we can nick that goal, because ultimately that'll be what it comes down to again. It'll be who scores the first goal. If we can get that first goal, I think, you know, we've got something to fight for then. I think that's obviously been the problem in the last few games, is that we haven't got either the first goal or any goal in them. And I know Palace was different because we've conceded late on, but we've just got to have that belief, haven't we? Because ultimately it all comes down to this game. It really does. We get a win on Friday, and you know, okay, we've got that game in hand. But if we get a win on Friday, then for the 4 Spurs, who are at the moment our rivals for that 7th place, they've got it at the moment, and I know they've got a little bit more control over that because they obviously are playing in the League Cup final. So by winning that could take that 7th place away anyway.
Yeah.
But you got to just put that out your mind. Normally that would already be settled by now. But you got to put that out your mind, and we are fighting directly with Spurs, and that's what makes it such an important game for us, where you just think that a victory could just swing it back our way with 7 games left, and then players remember what it's like to win a game, and people start thinking, yeah, we've got something to fight for here. It's got to be like that, hasn't it? Because ultimately, if you're gonna go for something, whether it's a trophy or a position in the league, whether, you know, top 4 or Europa League, you've got to fight for it. You've got to fight for it. It's got to be something there. Not like the other night against Brighton. There's got to be fight. In fact, Everton can't. I've got to have the attitude that it's win or absolute bust, I think, Friday, for me.
Yeah, you know, they're on 49, we're on 48. We've got a game, and if we were to win, you know, they've got 6 games left, and we'd be 2 points ahead of them with a game in hand as well. You know, we're all of a sudden, if we win on Friday, we're a point behind Liverpool. We are 3 points behind Chelsea, 4 behind West Ham. All of a sudden, you're looking at them again, even though, they've still got the lead on that. You're still looking at them teams and going, you never know if we win this and win that, we might. And I know a lot of people will be watching this and going, yeah, but we don't win because we haven't been winning. And I get that, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, we haven't got 8 games left, and it's not beyond the realms of fantasy to think Everton might win 5 of them. Conversely, Everton could not win another game the way they're playing at the moment.
All season, it's been a case of good runs, bad runs.
Yeah. It has, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah.
It's been good runs and bad runs. And at the moment, we're in a bad run. And if we could turn that round in the last few games and put in a good run,
then who knows?
Then that's what you've got to hope for. We did it in December. We did it a little, around in the derby, 3 wins in a row.
Yeah. From nowhere, didn't we?
And if we could do that again, and that's what anyone in the top 6, 7, 8, 9 at the moment, if they can put together a little run where they pick up,
4 or 5
4 wins or 5 wins, then that's going to throw them. That's going to throw them up. And I'm not saying we've got Champions League a chance. But with last weekend's results and the way Leicester have been pulled back down, it shows that there's still movement. I think the first 2 are going to be what they are, but I still think 3 and 4 could be anyone's. And then that just throws you up.
Liverpool looked well out of it the other week, and they've managed to get
3 wins in a row,
a couple of wins, and all of a sudden, you'd look at them now and go, actually, they'll get it. Chelsea looked like they were home and hosed, it was all done. And they've got some tough games near the end, so they've got a couple of games now, Chelsea, where they'd expect to win them. And then their last 3 or 4, a flip of a coin, because they're playing tough teams. So I'm saying this from no point of confidence
No,
at all. I can't sit here and say to people, no, I think we'll do, because I honestly don't. But the flip side to that is, Everton have done it before this season. When we've looked like we're done, we've won 3 or 4 games on the run, and you go, oh, what the hell, are back in it? Like, when this all started, we had a great start to the season, and we had a poor run in November, end of October, November. And then we went to Burnley, who had scored, about 3 goals all season and had 2 points or something. And it was like, we'll beat these. And we didn't, we drew. And everyone was like, this is pathetic. We've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester coming up, no chance. Remember people saying to us, won't get a single point out of these. We beat them up, we won 4 games on the run, and all of a sudden we were right back in it, and then we dropped off, and then we won the games to put us back in it. If Everton were to win on Friday, the narrative would be Everton are 3 games unbeaten after those 3 defeats. Because we've drawn the last 2. And that's how but if Everton draw or lose, it'll be they haven't won in 6 or whatever. And so the narrative can flip, and if Everton were to win the game and you sat there going Friday night, well, we're on 51 points. There's 8 games. There'll be 7 games to go. We're on 51 points. We said for ages, if we could get 63, 64, we'd have a chance. You'd be looking and going, tell you what, if we could win 3 or 4 more games, and our home games are Wolves, who've got flip-flops on, 100%. Sheffield United, who were relegated. And then obviously Aston Villa is a game that 2 against Everton would have to, but I'm talking about Everton would have to beat them anyway, regardless, because you'd have to, because they're going for it. Who knows then? And then away, you've got West Ham away, Arsenal away, who are both by us, so you can't lose either of them. And you've got Aston Villa away, which is another one. So, there's opportunities, but Everton haven't taken opportunities. The last, coming out of that West Brom game, we had the run where we were going, we've got Burnley, we've got, Crystal Palace, we've got Brighton, 9 points. And we took
I think what's interesting about this game, though, is that Spurs have got the same problems. That's the difference, isn't it? I think with some of these games recently, it's been a bit like, Uzi, Palace, we said it at the time, you go 1-0 up, you don't take your chances. They're not arsed, they've got nothing to play for. They put a little move together and you get a goal. Whereas Spurs, they've obviously got the pressure as well. They went to Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, should have been certain 3 points.
Well, let's have a look at their last 5 results, in all competitions. Beaten at Arsenal, bumped out of the Europa League 3-0 after they won the first leg, and everyone was saying it's comfortable. Had a good win at Aston Villa. Newcastle, 2-1 up with 5 minutes to go. Conceded and could have conceded again. And then last time out, Manchester United at home. And, I watched this one on Sunday and it was very much, it wasn't great. United had a goal disallowed.
Nonsense.
Which was mad. Then Spurs, United mistake, Lindelof, Spurs break, Son scores, and you think, Tottenham are on this, and they've moved into the top 4 at that stage because other games haven't played. And then United came out second half and got level, and then that was it. Then, and once they got level, he brought Greenwood on. Spurs looked like Everton, to be honest. They looked devoid. But when you've got Harry Kane, you think, well, if we can just get him a chance, he can win it for us because that's how good he is. But other than that, I was looking around. I mean, I really like Son. I think he's a cracking player. He's I don't love him as a footballer, as a, everything else, but he's a cracking footballer. They have got some good players, but they're also so disjointed. They're like Everton. Yeah. They look like Everton. They're just like... Theirs, I think, is for a different reason. I think Everton play the way they do because we haven't naturally got attacking players, but I think Spurs have got attacking players, but the manager constrains them. I mean, you look at their bench at the weekend, and Bale's sat next to Dele Alli and... Vinicius there and Lamella.
But that adds the pressure, doesn't it, for them? I mean, I know our fans bring pressure because we're a lot of people are disappointed. Is maybe a mild word, but whereas I feel like Spurs, there is that genuine pressure because of the stadium and because they have been in Champions League and because they are trying to keep hold of Harry Kane as well. That puts pressure on it, and obviously he's doing it a lot of it on his own. But as you just showed, the results their results are poor. One win in 5 there. Going to Newcastle, which 2-1 up with a minute to go, and Newcastle battered them. Chance-wise, and 1-0 up at home against Manchester United. You expect them to get something out of that game, and they haven't. I know Manchester United's away form is incredible, but so the pressure's on them as well because they'll be looking at this game, and this is what we've got, the manager's psychology and all the rest of it, is that they've got to come to us and get something. They've got to come to us, and I would love it. I'd love it. No, but they've got to come to us and get something, knowing that we have beaten them twice this season. And when they played us last at Goodison, in that game we were 3-1 up and they come back, but then we came back and we scored past them, 5 times, and it's going to be such an interesting game because I think to the victor go the spoils. I think
if you look at it, Everton. We played at Brighton the other night and we had 8 players. Whether people want to believe that as an excuse or not, Everton had 8 players out the other night. I've seen some people report we had 10 out. I don't know the other 2, but we've had 8 players out the other night. Every Evertonian, I think, even the most glass full, half full Evertonians would suggest that this squad, this side can't afford 8 players out of its squad. No. It can't. We're not good enough for what we want to be when everybody's fully fit. We've said it many times. When we've had our best 11, which was in the opening 6 games, we have 5 wins in a draw, and that 11 hasn't played together since. Yeah, so that maybe is what Everton are capable of. Where everyone was fit, I don't know, but we've 8 players out the other night has cost us the opportunity to get an important 3 points, which would have had us above Spurs going into this game, but. You can coulda, woulda, shoulda all the time you want. Games are getting chalked off every week now. There's 8 games left, for Everton to do something. And I've said it before, and the players have never gone out and done it, or haven't gone out and done it recently. But we'd have all took this, I think, at the start of the season to be in with a shout of, even though it's a shot in the dark shout at the Champions League, but still, if we were to win, we wouldn't be that far behind it. But certainly for the Europa League, or the conference, however it may play out, we'd have all said, with 8 games to go, would you take being in control of your own destiny? Because if Everton win 8 games, Everton are in Europe. So theoretically and mathematically, and Everton probably won't win 8 games, of course.
No, I don't think we will.
But Everton are still in control of their own destiny, and that's how people would look at it. And I think we'd have all said, it give us control of our own destiny then with 8 games to go, and we'll see what we do. And to be fair, we've had control of that for a while, and we've blown every single opportunity we've had. Of course.
That's it, though. That's the bottom line, though, isn't the bottom line? Is every time we get an opportunity, we blow it. And I know
Seamus Coleman said after a match the other night.
I know people use the word bottlers. I don't know whether it is. I don't know whether it is bottling it or whether it's just ability, circumstances, squad depth, injuries, all the rest of it. But it's a common theme with Everton, and has been a common theme for Everton for some time. I was even looking at a league table the other day of Martinez's first season, and the fact that we were fourth with 5 games to go,
and it was in our hands,
and we all had, it was in our hands, and we blew it.
Well, we only had to beat Palace that season in the midweek because we just beat Arsenal. If we'd have beaten Crystal Palace on the Wednesday at home, we was near the bottom. We then beat United. If we beat Palace and beat United, which is what we did, it'd have been very difficult for Arsenal to catch us. We didn't.
No.
And they caught
and we've done
us.
it. We all know the, go to Villa on Friday shout and all that. But
what I would say is I think the last time we played Spurs on a Friday night at home, we beat them 3-1. Gary Naismith scored a free kick. I think we were 3-0 up at half time.
It was Good Friday, that wasn't it?
Might have been Good Friday, yeah. I think that was the last time we played them on a Friday. So Spurs, sadly lined up last week against Manchester United. Lloris in goal, Reguilon, Rodon, Dia and Aurier, and Ndombele, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, and then they have Son and Moura and Harry Kane up top. And obviously the pace is in the wide areas from Son and Moura. Harry Kane's the threat, the natural threat, obviously. I think for Everton, got to most definitely be on the metal. I mean, what would you be looking at in terms of personnel? Because obviously the manager's expecting
I'd probably
to have 4 or 5 back.
I'd probably go with Mason Holgate back to right back. Obviously, it's going to be Keane, Ben Godfrey, and Dean. And then I'd have Seamus Coleman playing.
Right midfield.
Yeah, in that similar role that he took up against Liverpool. And because obviously they're a threat. They're 3. But I also think that Seamus can do something going forward to us and going forward. I'd probably go with that. And then, depending on who's back, obviously Don would be back up front.
Would you go with almost a 4-4-1-1 then? So would you have...
I'd probably have a Charlison back over midfield on the left, because I don't really think it's worked.
No.
Him playing closer to Dom, I just don't think it's worked. I think he's better when he's deeper and he picks up the ball. And I know it hasn't been great this season, but I think when he drives at people, it opens up the space a little bit.
And it gives Dean options because they've got to look after the Charlison. So it frees him up. He's not being freed up. I think if they went with a 4-4-1-1 with Hammers off Dom and then with Charlison wide left, and then it's your midfield too, then you've got to get that right. If Alan's fit, Alan will play. Maybe it'd have to be Alan and Tom Davies or Alan and Gomez.
I think it'll be Alan and Gomez. I think it might be.
Gomez played up at Spurs day 1, didn't he? He was actually had a decent game. I know we had Decore and Alan in there, but I think because Seamus Coleman can drop in as well into a 3 there if you're tilting it slightly, and I know it's not his natural position, but he's a defensive.
Yeah. And it's the meaner situation's disappointing, but I think Keane in a back 4 is a lot better than the back 3. He can't play in a back 3. He's just limited. Yeah. And I think obviously that's why he's not playing for England, I think, as well, because he can't play in a back 3. Just doesn't suit his game. He's just an old-fashioned centre-back. And he hates getting pulled out of space. And I think that'll suit him more. And these will come and try and play in the counter-attack, and it'll be up to us to stop it. But we've got to take our opportunities. That's ultimately what it comes down to. We'll make a couple of opportunities, and we've got to take them. And that's not, by the way, that's not me having a go. Because at the end of the day, that's all we've been doing all season, is you look at all the numbers. We've been living off scraps. In fact, the Crystal Palace game, I know we've criticised with Richarlison and Dom, but that's probably one of the only games this season where they haven't got the scrap. They've been living off scraps.
Certainly in the second half of the season.
And unfortunately on the day, because you just look at that game now and look how huge that game would have been if 2 more at points. We'd be going into this game above Spurs.
And who knows what would have happened at Brighton.
And that's
the confidence.
They're the real, and Seamus said himself after the game, they're the real disappointments. The Fulham game, the Newcastle game, the Crystal Palace game, they're the real disappointments. They're the games when you look at someone like West Ham and you go, well, they didn't beat United, they didn't beat Liverpool, they didn't beat Arsenal. It's like, yeah, because Moyes typically has done what Moyes always did at Everton. He beat the teams he needed to beat and didn't worry too much about the other teams. And yet it's been the other teams this season that have caught us out. And that's where the disappointment from the season will be, or is?
Spurs, I mean, they had Palace around before that run beat Palace 4-1. They took the chances against them. That's what you have to do. You've got Harry Kane. Yeah. It is. It's a tough one. Everton's 1-0 win over Spurs. The opening day of the season ended the run of 15 games in the league without beating them. It's just scandalous, isn't it? Absolutely scandalous.
Not the worst one we got.
No. Spurs are unbeaten in the last 7 away games against Everton, winning 3 and drawing 4, since losing 3 in a row at Goodison between January 2011 and December 2012. The last 4 meetings between Everton and Goodison Park have produced 22 goals, 8 for Everton, 14 for Spurs. Everton have won 1 of the last 8 Premier League home games with Spurs. We have got some terrible runs, haven't we? Everton have failed to win any of their last 4 Premier League matches. Last going 5 in a row back in 2018 under Marco Silva. Spurs have dropped 18 points from winning position in the Premier League, only Brighton losing more. Spurs have let the lead slip in 3 of the last 4 games, so that's something you can cling on to as a Evertonian, definitely. 42% of Tottenham's away league goals came in their first 2 matches of the season. 5 at Southampton and 6 at United. Spurs have scored 15 times since in 14 games. So they're not prolific scorers away from home normally. Harry Kane has scored 10 in his last 11 against Everton, including 6 in 6 at Goodison. Everton could become the 3rd team to complete a league double against the side managed by Jose Mourinho, with all of these coming in the Portuguese last 2 seasons in North London with Spurs and Chelsea. Son has scored 14 goals in 30 appearances, his joint best in the season, single season. 8 of his 14 have come away from home. So we know their threats. It's not going to be anything new. We know it's a big game. And for once, Everton have got to stand up and be confident in it. Because, like you said, if this game goes by without a win, then it really would look like there's no chance of Europe. Yeah. So
there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we can get the win? And what will a win mean to us, our European aspirations? Let us know. Don't forget, do your Toffee picks for this game as well. The game is available now to play. Make sure you check that out. There's a chance to win £250 outright with a prize pot of £500. Don't forget, you need to be over 18. Play responsibly. T's and C's apply. But it's free. It is free. Ultimately, it's free. If you haven't signed up yet, toffeepicks.com. The link is in the description and it'll be on the screen right now. Don't forget, give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, daily live videos, join us over on Patreon. Thanks for watching. See you later.